Hey guys, I'm Erica, and Carrie asked me to talk to you a little bit about book fairs. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do before you jump into book fair stuff is get on Order Pro and order the pamphlets and brochures that you're going to need. And we'll go over those later on, but that will be your very first step, because before you set up meetings, you need to have your folders ready so that when you do go have a meeting, you're ready to go. So then the next thing that I did was get on Google, and I made a huge list of all the daycares and preschools in our area. And after I went through those, I went through and looked up all the Mother's Day outs in our area and made a huge list of those. Then I just started calling them all. So the very first time I called, I was a little bit nervous, I'm not going to lie. But I just jumped in and went for it. So when they answer, I say, "Hi, may I ask who the director of your facility is?" And they will tell me and say her name's Sue. And I'll say, "Is Sue available right now? I'd love to speak with her." And they say yes or no. If they say yes, then I say, when she answers, I say, "Hi Sue, my name's Erica. I am a consultant with Usborne Books and More, and I just wanted to see if I could swing by for about 10 minutes or so and show you some of our amazing books and the different programs that we have to offer that could get your school hundreds of dollars in free books. Is there a time next week that would be good for you?" And they, more often than not, say, "Sure, let me look at my calendar." Then we set up a time and go from there. So if I get a voicemail, then I say, "Hi Sue, my name's Erica," pretty much the same thing. "I wanted to talk to you for just a couple minutes about some programs we have. Could you give me a call back whenever you get a chance?" And leave my phone number. Then if I have someone that, like, say the director gets on the phone and says, "No, we're not interested. We work with Scholastic and blah, 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 Scholastic." So I'll say, "Well, let me ask you a question real fast if you don't mind. Does Scholastic do everything for you? Do they set everything up? Do they take all the orders, all that?" And every single time they say, "Oh no, we do all that. They ship us everything in big boxes, and then we have to sort it all and put it all out and keep track of the inventory and keep track of orders and money, and it's a long, hard process." So then you sweep in and say, "Oh, well, I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't know if it would sway your choice at all, but if I were to do a book fair for you, I would do all of that. You wouldn't be in charge of anything. I set up, I take down, I take orders, I handle inventory. You have to do absolutely nothing. So it's super easy for you." And I have had one lady say, "Okay, I need your number because that sounds amazing." So don't be afraid of Scholastic. Don't let the big names scare you out of pitching you what we offer, because what we offer is so amazing and it's so helpful for the schools or preschools, daycare, whatever you're working with, for you to do that, and they don't get that. And so it's new to them, and all the people I have worked with have just truly enjoyed it and been so thankful. So then once I do that and I set up my meeting with them, I gather up my books. And so depending on what group I'm with, depends on obviously what books I'm going to grab. So I always grab a few from each age range, probably 2 or 3, and highlight just our best books. So I always take All Better. I always take Nibbles. I take one of our Big Book Of. I take one of the Slide and See baby books, of That's Not My Baby Book. So I just grab a few of our top sellers. Whatever's most popular at the time, I take with me. And also, one thing is you really need to know your audience. So, for instance, if you're at a Christian daycare or preschool, you need to know that there is a controversial book list and let them know those things. So, like, a couple of our encyclopedias talk about evolution, and even in our house we use it as a teaching opportunity. They may not want to do that, and so you want to know who you're working with, and you don't want to bring those books if they don't want them at their book fair. And same goes for, like, a public school or just a regular daycare. They may not want illustrated Bible stories and our Christmas books about baby Jesus and things like that. So you really need to know who you're dealing with so you can go from there. So when I walk in, I say, "Hi, thank you so much for meeting with me. This won't take long at all." And so then I sit down and, time out. Go back just a second. So when I'm calling them, I use these. And these are in your consultant toolbox. and I write everything down on this. And before I call, I write as much down as I can, and then I fill out more information later. And the second page of this little set is a section for notes, and when you contacted them, what they said, if you follow up, all that. So I fill all of this out. Then if they do book a book fair with me, I put them in their own little 3-ring folder so I can keep all of their information, and then when I jump in my file cabinet, I just grab out that folder and I have everything ready for me. So these are very helpful. I definitely suggest using these, especially if you are gold. Gold is my second color. So it really helps me stay organized and keep track of things. Okay, so back to when you get there. I walk in, I say thank you so much for meeting with me. This will only take a few minutes. And so then first I pull out my folder. And these folders I just got at Walmart. The stickers are in Order Pro, and so just grab those. I stick them on front just to make it look a little more, official. And so then this is what I have in here. So if you can see this. So I always put my sticker on the folder. That way they can see it. And then I always put this working with you. Whoa, there we go. I always put this in there at the front, and I always put a mini catalog so they can have that. And then if they do book a book fair, I take them back like the full-size catalog so that they can look through them. So this is the What I Can Offer Your School letter. And this is the very first thing I put in there. You can find this in our Thrive Drive. Then the next thing I put in is the brochure about literacy for a lifetime. Oh, things are falling out. So I go over literacy for a lifetime with them. I'm terrible at this, you guys. So I go over literacy for a lifetime with them and what all that entails. Then the next thing that's in here is, is Cards for a Cause. And so I go over all of that with them. A lot of these first things I haven't had a lot of people really interested in just yet. And so I kind of breeze through them. And then I've just recently started, and this isn't necessary, but I've recently started putting in this little Cards for a Cause order form, just so they have an idea of what it looks like if they were to do that. The next thing I do is Reach for the Stars, and so I go over all of that with them. One thing, because I did not know this in the beginning, to make sure you let them know that at least 50% of the pledges have to go back to the kiddos. And then after that, they can split up the rest of the pledges however they want. So the kids can get 100% of their pledges, they can get 70%, or 50-50. I mean, you can set it up any way you want after that, but the kids have to get 50%. So then the next thing that's in there is this little letter from Tabitha. It's in your Thrive Drive, and it just kind of explains it all for them, so that's a great thing for them to have on hand. And then I also am now putting this Reach for the Stars letter in there. I also got it off the Thrive Drive, but it's what you would send home with parents so that they know what they're doing when they start it. And then I also stick the Reach for the Stars brochure that the kiddos actually take home. So it shows their reading journal and their order form and their sponsor sheet all there together. And then I also put in the back, and these I don't think are necessary, I just have them, so I put them in our little flyers. Just so that they know we have them. Now, the reason I don't think these are necessary is because, for instance, what if somebody tries to order something off of here and it's out of stock? Then you're just out of luck. And so I don't use these very often, but I show them because I have had a couple people that have wanted them. So I show them that we do offer these if that's something they do want. So then I go breeze through all that stuff real fast, and then I show them all the books. And they typically love the books every time. I haven't had anybody that hasn't loved the books. So I've had every single person has either booked or said, call me back this fall so we can set up a book fair then, because we don't have time to do one right now, but we are definitely interested in this. So then, let's see. So you've booked the book fair and you're ready to go. So about a week and a half before the book fair, I take them some things. So we have these book fair posters in Order Pro. I take them however many they say. So if they want 1 or 2, I've never had anybody want more than that, but I take them these book fair posters. And then I take them wish lists, and these are all in Consultant Toolbox. I take them these wish lists for all their teachers. That way their teachers can fill out the books that they like. And I also take them either, this is a new thing, so I'm going to show you both of them. This is what I was taking them. Just a little letter that explained what was happening to send home with the kiddos. Now, I am considering starting to take this. Or these are all in your consultant toolbox, and there's different sizes, but it has on here, over here, goodness, I'm terrible at this. It has over a little coupon over here that they fill out with their information and put it in the drawing. So rather than have to have them stop and pick something up and fill it out, you already have it on the little sheet that you sent home. Then right over here, you would just put a sticker like with the school's information, or put the school's information over here. And so these, I think, would be a great thing to send home. The letter or this, or both. Attach the letter to the top and let them send these home. Great things to send home as reminders. So then, when I set up my book fairs, you're going to want to find out how many kids they have, what age ranges all the kids are. You're going to need to write all this down, so that helps you gauge your books. If you're doing a cash and carry, which in my experience, cash and carry works way better than order only. If you're doing an order only, I set up my display, and then I made these signs and put on the table. So it had the link and saying that we also accept cash and credit cards, and I was taking paper orders there, and then it said when I would be there with my phone number and information so they could call me or text me if they had any questions or anything. So these are what I put on the table when I did an order only. Now, since that's the only one I've done, and since then I have learned that cash and carry really is the way to go. They sell a lot more. So if you're doing a cash and carry, you're going to need all of the kids, like the age ranges of the kids, how many of each group, and how many kiddos there are. If they've done a book fair in the past, I always ask them, well, do you know around what your sales were? Just so it gives me a good idea of how much consignment to take out. And so then, once you have all of that, you'll go set everything up. And I always make sure to find out the best times for me to be there. So I have one this fall that I'm going to be there in the morning and at pickup. But previously I've only done pickup, and that seemed to work okay too. So just find out what they want. Each place you work with is going to be different. You're going to have to tailor things just a little bit for each one. So just work with them and find out what they think will be best. And so once I get everything set up, while I'm there, I have, if you're doing cash and carry, I use PayPal here, and it has a card reader just like Square does, and I just picked PayPal because I already have it all set up versus Square, and I think that either one is fine. They both work great. And so remember, you are going to lose a little bit on sales, and you're going to want to make sure that in your PayPal app or your Square app that you enter in sales tax for whatever area that you're in. That way it calculates it for you, because you've already paid, or you will be paying tax on your consignment, and so you want to make sure that you're charging them tax as well. So if they're paying cash, which obviously cash and carry, you're going to have some people that do cash, so you're going to want to have a cash box on hand with some change in it. I wouldn't say tons, because most everybody used their card for everyone that I've done. And let's see. Whenever it's over, you are going to get all the teacher wish lists and talk to the director about how they want to get their free books. Do they want you to just pick off of all the wish lists? Do they already have a list for you of what they want? And so then you're going to place those orders for them. Now, if people do get on your website and order from the same book fair, then those books, they can ship them to their house, or they can ship with the organization. So if anyone chooses to ship with organization, when I always have I pick those up, but I'm local, so I would have them shipped to you. And so then when you get all the orders, you will sort them all for the school and the separate orders. And how I keep track of that is whenever I get an order through to my email, and it's an online order for a book fair, I go ahead and print that email off right then and stick it in their file. That way, once the books come in, because they're not going to be sorted, once they come in, I have those, and I can just flip through them and figure out who gets what. So I also order the UBAM bags. And you don't have to do UBAM bags. You can get your own bag somewhere else, just a colored bag or something. That's totally up to you. But that way, when you take all the orders to the school, you have them all sorted and they're ready. And then Carrie and I came up with this little thing. This is actually Carrie's. So we stick these in with the bags. And so it basically says, thank you so much. You helped your organization earn however much in free books, and you write that in. Then it says, if you found that your wish list grew more than your wallet, consider hosting a party. Feel free to contact me for party information or future orders. And then it just has our names and phone numbers. So I love these. These have been great. One of my book fairs I did, the director told me that the people were very appreciative of this because they really liked knowing how many free books the organization was able to get thanks to them. So those are great. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I kind of was orange on this and flew by the seat of my pants. I think that's it. I am more than happy to ever answer any questions in one of our Facebook groups. I have done quite a few of these, and I love doing them. Book fairs are one of my absolute favorite things to do. So just let me know if you need anything. Thanks, guys.